Wait, do you ever get disappointed when you're showing someone something for the first time and you really want them to get it? And
No,
they
not
don't?
at all. I think
Yes.
Oh.
Matt knew exactly where I was
Absolutely.
going with that question.
I'm clearly an Eeyore.
I'm probably Rue.
I'm a Christopher Robin with a poo rising.
And then I get in a canoe and I'm like, Clairs don't like canoes.
No, they don't.
I'm afraid of this lake.
That's exactly what it was.
Ow.
It was a beautiful moment in our friendship. I was
literally in the middle of getting ready up and down the
Pathetic.
stairs. Ow. I was like, I'm trying to get my hair done. I'm like,
I don't think that's an accurate representation of my owl.
well, you were in such pain you couldn't see clearly. So,
Trauma.
Thank you for listening to the Last Will podcast. I'm Matt Young. I'm a theater educator and a parent. And ever since I lost my father to cancer, I have been mildly obsessed with death. This is my last will and testament. Isaac Asimov once said, "Assumptions are the windows on the world. Scrub them off every once in a while or the light won't come in." This week's episode is all about assumptions. Assumption, what's your function? No, I don't think that's the song at all. I think that's Junction, what's your function? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Also, this week's episode, there is no fake commercial before we start because last week's fake commercial I thought was pretty bad, and so I'm putting myself in the penalty box, and I'm not making you listen to a bad commercial that I created. So we're just getting right into the episode. So here it is, Assumption Junction. Am I really going to call the episode that? I don't know. I guess you're going to have to wait and find out. Enjoy. We should start now, which is what I just did. I just put it back.
Oh,
We are
man.
back in the studios here.
I still feel like I'm in bed, actually.
That's because you're wearing a mink fleece. You're all dolled up, ready for a morning of brunch.
not of eating fancy dinner.
Yeah.
Fancy feast.
Yeah. Oh, God, I did have a fancy feast. That's so funny.
I was in Barcelona one time. Yeah, I'm bragging, and I had a whole fish. And
Did it look like the fish when you were eating it?
It
Did
did.
it have the head?
It did. I also it was the first time I ever had snails, which were
escargot.
glorious.
Yes,
It
love
was
them.
so good, so good.
So good.
What was I talking about? I was talking about the fish, right? I'm sorry. We
Fancy.
Matt told us to be quiet for a second, and I had to push my lips together to make sure that nothing accidentally
Fancy
came out.
feast.
That's the only way to go about it. We were talking about my Brazilian snails and fish, and I also had a big bucket of mussels that I was eating. It was so good. You know, we were on the water. The seafood at Barcelona was great. I'm not talking about Barcelona. the
Barcelona.
restaurant. I'm talking about the country. I'm talking about the country.
Barcelona.
And I had a fish, and I didn't realize that they didn't take the bones out, and so
You assumed there were.
I ate it, and I choked on a bone.
Yeah,
But
scary.
it doesn't really suffocate you. You
Well,
just
'cause
feel the bone in your throat.
Right,
And you're like, I'm
'cause
gonna die.
You're like, I can swallow this. Like,
Yep.
this is
Yep.
fine. It's not enough for me. Brady's making
Yep.
a
Nope.
face that a cat makes when
Nope.
they're choking on something.
It gave me trauma. It gave me trauma. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
eat a bronzino.
Would you say that was an
No.
assumption that you assumed, like, hey, fish? Oh,
I did.
You assumed that you would be able to survive the bone.
Well, I assumed there wouldn't be bones in a fish
were you
served
like?
at a restaurant.
You were like, Dan, help me.
Every bite
Pull it
that I
out.
took of my branzino last night, maybe it wasn't an assumption, it was just a wish. I was like, I just wish that there's no bones in this bite. I don't understand how people enjoy branzino when you have to pick out the bone every single bite you take. It's messy and unattractive.
Branzino's Latin for work.
You guys have been saying branzino for a long time. I've always thought of it as bronzino.
Oh.
So we'll find out.
Sorry,
always thought of it as-
I'm
well,
American. So
Barcelona?
Branzino.
Barcelona.
Well, you can't say Barcelona without going
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
I just
Okay.
think of that line in Company. Where you going?
Barcelona.
Ooh. Whoa.
I know, I shouldn't sing. I know.
No, that was me, actually.
Oh,
you
good.
were right.
Good. Thank
I have
you.
a pitch pipe in my purse if we need it.
Should break it out.
You're
Anyways,
on my note.
welcome to the Last Will podcast.
Welcome.
Welcome back, everyone.
Yeah, back. We're back in the studio. We're not on special location
Watch for
anymore.
bones.
Although it was fun to be on special location, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Some of us were more comfortable than others. They had more comfortable seating, but I did have a service pet with me last time. So if I was calmer, was I calmer?
Yeah.
With the service pet?
Yeah.
Anyways,
It's
this
not like
week.
you're not calm when you're here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But I can get worked up.
I don't know. Well,
I'm trying to justify getting a service pet. Is really what I wanna do.
Yeah. Well, that was you can't beat that.
I thought that I want you to have a service pet. I want you to have a service bird that talks to you.
No,
For
birds
like
poop.
during-
Birds poop
Why?
all over you.
Because like during football matches and stuff, the bird could be like, "Oh, the fucking wanker." Come on, get in the pitch. Fucking wanker.
Come on, get into the pitch. You're
Grady-
doing so good. You're
Grady
doing
is
so
going to
good.
train this bird before he gives it to you, and it's going to have all of the vocabulary in it plugged in.
Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you
You
Spurs.
got no handle, bitch. Get on the pitch.
Oh, jeez.
Get on the pitch.
Except it's going to be all musicals.
Kick the ball. Yeah. It'll just sing. It'll just sing
Into the
musicals.
woods.
Yep. Instead of rooting for the football team.
Roy can't.
So it's going to be a fan of TV shows as well.
Definitely.
So this week we've decided to. I'm not going to get a service bird. This week we decided that our topic for discussion was going to be assumptions.
Yes. And actually, this came from a conversation that Matt and I had several weeks ago. And we were like, this would be a good conversation topic for the podcast. But I can't remember what our why we
hit on assumptions.
Yeah.
It has to do, Claire. It has to do with birthdays, doesn't it? Couldn't it have come out of our discussion about birthdays?
Maybe.
Claire and I are very simpatico on this whole thing.
Birthday.
It was a really strong thing that we were like, well, I just assumed that this was going to happen, and then this and that. Oh my God!
And then
it
we
was
just
good.
got to assumptions. I really don't know either, but because it was around the end of February, I'm thinking it has to be.
I assumed y'all to remember what you were talking about because I didn't know what we were talking about, so I assumed you would. No.
And we did look at that. That's like kismet.
And I just
No.
assumed that Matt would remember what we were talking about because my memory's unreliable.
Freaking ranker.
Can I just say, with the effort that you both have put into my birthday,
Freaking ranker.
I'm gonna strangle that bird.
Give me a cracker.
Give
me a cracker. Now shut up. Ritz.
You're gonna get fucking oyster crackers. That's what you're gonna get.
Oh no. Too crunchy. Ritz.
I just want to say that I've already planned your birthday,
No,
and I've already bought Grady a present.
no, I don't want a birthday party.
What?
How do you know it's a birthday party?
You naughty little fur wearing thing.
It's not a fur. It's a fake.
What did you talk?
fleece.
It seems like a real fleece, to be perfectly honest.
The birthday thing.
I never wear anything
Listen,
real.
Everybody needs to chill out. Okay.
I'm going to throw up. When people do things for me, I throw up.
Don't throw up here.
I did things for you for your birthday last year, and you didn't throw up. So,
That's true.
I got
So-
the
It wasn't like in my face though. It was like
oh, this isn't going to be in your face.
Okay,
but
that's
this is going to be in your face. You know what I mean? yeah. No, there's one idea that I have that we can't not talk to you about because otherwise we would be arrested for kidnapping.
okay. I just
Well,
want to
that's
say
the premise of Jawbreaker, and that's not cool. She dies.
Oh, so we should come up with a new plan.
I killed her. I killed the teenage beauty queen.
okay, but I just want to throw it out there. I hate roller coasters.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. This is not a roller coaster. It's not a practical roller coaster, not literal roller coaster, but it could be a roller coaster of an adventure.
Okay, now I just got to look at what day my birthday is
Jesus,
this year.
Dad.
It's the leap year and
Oh,
everything's all messed up.
I believe it's a Friday.
Uh-oh. Do I have to
Oh
take the day
my
off from work?
God! What is wrong with y'all?
What? No, because I looked at
I
this
believe
thing.
it's a Friday. This is just.
because
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday. See, I was off by
It's
a
because
day.
because it was a leap year.
That's true.
Last year was a Tuesday. Every year your birthday's on the consecutive day.
Oh.
And
No, because this thing has a thing around her birthday. That's well.
just
we'll
don't
get
tell me
to it.
because you know what? But before I know it, I'm gonna.
He bought you an Arby's.
Frady.
He bought you an Arby's.
Brady.
Sorry. Oh God.
That was the bird.
You got to stop that. Don't spoil everything.
I used to go to Arby's all the time.
We
when
have
I
to
was
work there
little.
though. All three of us.
Wait, you mean I get a new job?
Yeah.
I got you an outfit too.
Yeah.
It's cosplay. It's Arby's
It's
cosplay.
the 80s Arby's. It's
Does
the 80s
Arby's
Arby's.
have the golden arches? Or no, it's
No.
the hat. It's the Western hat, isn't it? No. McDonald's has the golden arches, but
Yeah,
Arby's has the hat.
Yeah.
I'm leaving now.
No, Arby's has all the beef.
We don't have lemon. Okay, I'm
leaving the drive-through.
Thank you. Have a good day.
No, I'm going to eventually have to discuss it with you because we can't do it without you arranging it or whatever. But I think it's a good idea. Anyways, and we would take care of everything. Even Grady will go.
It's a pap smear. Oh my God.
It's an adventure. It's an adventure.
Grady.
We brought you an Arby's.
Grady, on the other hand, though,
No. Stop it.
I'm just going to buy him gifts all year.
No.
Wait,
no, I don't.
that's
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
funny
yeah.
because I think that's what
Yep.
my mom's doing.
No.
Really?
No.
No, seriously, like in my family, we had this conversation about backing off on gifts at Christmas and like just not
Yep.
giving as many. And I've noticed my mom is like buying more gifts for us, like on random days. Like 1 week, I got a gift every day. I got a back scratcher. I got some fun hair curling apparatus.
When somebody gets you a back scratcher, that is love.
Oh yeah,
That's love.
because I was talking about needing a back scratcher.
Shape at the golden arches in reverse. So it's like a W.
My back scratchers look like a bear claw. No, so this is my plan. I'm just going to get Grady presents all year, and then on his birthday, I'm going to get him a very
Big nothing.
generic birthday card.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Oh, that's a good.
just slide across
One
the
that's
table.
like happy anniversary, Nana. You cross it out.
No.
I like to buy
That's
cards.
actually
and
funny.
cross-
Like trying to find birthday cards that are actually so boring
Yeah, the simplest, most boring.
instead of finding the ones that are like the good ones.
Yeah.
it's your special day, and the inside says, "Wow."
Hope you enjoy it.
Well,
Happy birthday.
The other day, I was looking for a 50th
Happy birthday.
card
Ask
for
me about my
somebody,
Branzino.
somebody at my company, the Big 50, and
I'm getting
they
a
were
card.
there were no 50th birthday cards at the store that I went to look at. Like none.
40th and just cross it out.
No, that's when you get a
That's
condolence card.
Yes, I like
I
that.
got a
Send
cute
it.
one that said something about otters. I don't know. It worked.
I used to do that when I
Sorry
was a
for your
teenager.
loss. Isn't it? It's
Yeah,
funny
yeah.
to do that. I think some people don't.
Because you never
It
want to.
backfired one time
Well,
on me.
Okay, tell us the story.
I just remember being in high school, and a girlfriend of mine. I got her like a bereavement card, and she cried. Like, I'm sorry, I thought it was funny. What was it?
Oh well.
She didn't say like that.
You
I mean,
never
I don't
know.
know. I mean, I feel
good
bad.
thing you got rid of her.
It was. I think it was just sorry for your loss. In time, you will heal. That kind of
In
thing.
my teenage years, I did that to be clever. I got every card was a different occasion for whatever the occasion was, and that's how, because you couldn't find really good
And the
cards.
next day, her service bird died, so it worked
Oh.
out.
There's no such thing as a service bird. All right,
Fox the Phoenix, definitely a service bird.
you think so?
Yes.
Oh, all right,
I mean, he also was like magical and saved everybody, but
it's true.
Phoenixes are service birds naturally.
yeah,
They die for your.
they don't ever die.
Oh, right.
They just
They disappear.
expire and then they renew.
Just like
They expire and
Just like
renew, just like a
X-Men.
license.
Just like Jean Grey.
Just like
The
a license.
X-Men.
So when you see this present, and I'm going to give it to you right when it comes. Why is my mic so loud? You're going to be like, Matt, I understand. You had to get this. You had to buy me this. You
If
couldn't
I
resist.
bought you everything I see that I want to buy you, like the lightsaber chopsticks that light up while you eat.
I will say
Did
that
you
I've
get this for
had
him?
lightsaber chopsticks before.
I knew it.
So, you know,
I'm scared if I start buying Matt little things, he's gonna go, I need you to stop. I need you to stop.
do you think I'll ever turn down a present?
No,
No.
definitely not.
She gets me.
Well,
I wanna-
She could be my service
then
bird.
let her get you a present.
I'll be
She
Matt's
did.
service
Well,
bird.
you've already got the chopsticks. I'm glad I didn't
What's
order
that
those.
thing back there, Matt, that looks like an electric toothbrush?
Okay.
It's a portable bidet. It's a portable bidet. Grab it. Grab it. Grab it. Grab it.
You told me about this. I thought you were kidding. I thought you were kidding. You said this, but
It
Okay,
literally
well-
looks like an electric toothbrush that you have to buy the bristles for.
well, it does. It does brush you, but it brushes your butt.
Did you get this from
Now, hold
Temu?
on.
No.
TikTok.
though.
Oh, okay. Why not just spend the money to get a real bidet?
You're right, because I didn't think that I had the mechanics to figure out how
You-
to get it in.
you
And
do.
plus the
What?
thank
You're
God.
the most
water
handy
pressure-
person I've
the-
ever met.
The
Here-
water pressure in my toilet is not great.
Here are the
so-
3. Okay, well, first of all, it's a small infant being washed.
Yes. That's
So
me.
I don't
That's
know.
me, right?
This thing is called the Handy Care
that's,
bidet.
That's the size of my entire butt. Third of all, here are the 3 features that are important. Water pipe port, it's a 180-degree adjustment. Smart timing work, meaning, hey, you fall asleep, you're not going to fall asleep wet.
Smart timing work.
Mm-hmm. And then also, it's waterproof, so you can pee back on it. So if you washed and then went, oh no, oh fuck,
And
You mean
couldn't
poop
move
back
it-
on it
right,
because
it's not gonna
bidets are
break
for
it.
the butthole.
right?
Let's hope.
Let's try it out now, Claire.
No. I don't want to get my clothes
You
wet.
got a bidet over there. Why don't you open it up and watch?
So Matt, you bought this assuming that it would work.
I don't know.
She hasn't even tried it. She hasn't tried it.
I think it was like $7 or something.
Make-
so I was like, how
so
could
you
I
just
not?
bring this with you in your purse or something?
Yeah, I think that's what you're supposed
Yeah,
to do.
Matt will bring it with him in his purse.
I feel like I'm going to give it as a gift
Will you put it in your pocketbook,
to
Claire?
someone because it's just funny to me.
I
Wow.
I
don't
actually
know.
want
Maybe
it.
I'll try it.
What if it is a better water pick for your teeth and you realize that isn't this a bidet?
There's a high mode and a low mode.
Who's going to use the low
We're-
mode? I mean, come on.
The low mode is probably
what's the mid mode?
the picture on here is this woman with a green one, like a green
A green butt?
a
What?
green bidet, and it looks
Oh.
like a cucumber.
Well,
Interesting.
I think
I guess I just don't understand. Like
let's try it.
like is it supposed to be? Also, I can't believe there are all these unopened gifts over there that
Well,
you bought
there's-
for yourself.
There's not a lot of. That was given to me by Sally Rose for my birthday.
What is that?
You could hook it on your phone as a fan.
It's a camera fan.
It's a fan. No, maybe that was. No, it wasn't my birthday. It was for Christmas.
What's a camera fan?
I think you plug it into your
your phone,
phone.
and it takes
And it gives you
pictures of
fan.
you fanning yourself.
No,
Well,
I
that's
think it's
what
just
I
a
thought.
So
fan.
wait, you could fan yourself while we do the bidet.
But
Can-
where I don't understand
It's just
the
a
bidet.
fan.
Are you bringing it with you like on a trip?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
I guess you could also use it to like
Oh,
water the
nice.
plants.
Made in China.
Matt, lie down on the ground real quick.
Claire, you
can
can use this to water the plants.
Can you get a
It's true. I don't have
Yeah.
any plants.
Can you get a towel?
I didn't put any water in
Stay
it
on
yet.
the runner.
Hang on.
Stay on the runner.
The other thing is a mini printer that prints stickers.
Oh, a cricket? Oh no, that's something else. Oh my God, Matt, we have to use that right now.
Oh, okay.
This is.
I assume.
This looks
See,
like
look,
it's from
look,
outer
my little
space.
fan.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that is a fucking dildo. If I ever, what's happening?
This
in
looks
here?
like a
It's a fan.
spaceship.
I assumed we were talking about assumptions today, but we're not. That is badass, and I want it. I want that.
That fan?
Give me
Yeah.
that. I want it.
But I don't understand the
Easy.
camera part.
I don't. I think because you can charge it from your camera.
I'm going to be honest with you.
You can charge it from your camera?
Listen-
Your
Matt,
phone.
that doesn't make sense.
Your phone. No, you can't.
This thing is kicking.
Guys, this portable bidet looks like the thing that went into space last year.
In this, like, into vaginal space.
It
No.
does.
Looks like a
it does look
dildo.
like a vibrator.
It's like a fucking huge dildo from
It's-
1987.
This is, well, I don't know.
That looks like a dildo from 87.
Okay.
You
When
got
they
a
did-
dildo.
when they
this
didn't really know-
podcast got totally derailed.
You got a dildo. Wow, this is awesome.
Yes, we have to use that immediately. The printer.
Claire.
It's ready to be used.
There are markers. Is there paper? I have so much paper at home.
Yeah, it comes with paper.
Oh my God, there's so much paper.
Yes.
That box is
Look.
endless. That has so many gifts in there.
Yeah, I
There's
got-
so
I got
much
the good
paper,
one.
Matt.
Now are you gonna see? You got to get all of this stuff before TikTok goes away.
I'm going to
I am not buying any of this. I'm going to let you
Uh-oh.
buy it, and then I'm going to use your
I'm
stuff.
going to explode.
That's not a bad strategy,
Gonna
Claire.
explode.
That's not a bad strategy.
Rich shits, rich shits, rich shits. Claire,
Yes, Grady.
turn it on. Turn that on.
I can't open it. Oh,
Okay.
this
Turn-
is
turn it
this is
on.
a probe if I ever
Turn
saw
it
one.
on. Turn it on.
I don't have any water in it yet.
You don't need water in it. Just
Yeah,
turn
you
it
do.
on. No, just turn. See if it buzzes.
It doesn't buzz, Grady. It's not a vibrator.
you
I
hold
got
the
this. I got this.
Oh my goodness.
I think you have to charge
Why don't
it.
you shove it where the sun don't shine?
You know
no,
what?
you're supposed
Watch
to.
your mouth.
No, you're supposed to hold it below where the
Matt,
sun
you
don't
gotta
shine.
contain your
So
service
hot.
bird.
I know, right? I'm gonna put him back in his
This
cage.
is really this kicks.
Right? She knows that I'm sweaty, so I'd like a good fan.
All right, I can't open this, Grady.
When no using for a long time, please fully charge. I don't know where it doesn't say anything about being a camera.
I think that's
to put water in it.
translation to say it nicely.
Right, like it's a USB,
It doesn't
but it's
really
not a
mean
camera.
thing,
Yeah. But this could have been a TikTok purchase too. For sure. When charging, do not violently plug or unplug
Pass me
your
the
charging
bidet
cable.
box.
To
There are
avoid
no
ma-
directions.
There may be to me. I may see something you don't. I have a good
All
eye for
right.
foreign.
This is a
bidet
podcast,
products.
and we are talking about assumptions. So while the kids play, I'm going to read the definition of assumption. All right? An assumption is something that is accepted as true or as certain to happen without proof. It is a belief or an idea that is taken for granted or is presumed to be true without verification or evidence. Assumptions can be made consciously or unconsciously and are often used as the basis for reasoning, decision-making, or argumentation.
Argumentation?
Argumentation, yes, or argumentation. In various fields such as philosophy, science, and mathematics, assumptions play a crucial role in setting the foundation for further exploration and analysis. Oh, there's a good part of assumptions. I didn't really think about that.
Yeah, I would agree with
Yeah,
that.
they use it in science.
That's what the definition said. I always just assumed that it was going to make an ass out of you and me.
See, you need batteries for this. This needs 2 AAA batteries.
Maybe behind you in a bag. And right behind you in a bag. There
Oh,
could
you have
be.
batteries over there?
I do have a bag of batteries. Are they double A's?
There's so many batteries in that bag.
Can I say this?
I'll make it.
You know where these batteries came from?
Yes.
What?
I stole them from the
I
theater.
knew it.
Stop it.
Yeah, because we had all of these flashlights. These are Curious Incident batteries for
they
sure.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought it was
I have
the
my
theater.
curious
I just put them
flashlight.
in a bag and said, you will pay me for doing this and that. I'm gonna do this.
I have
anyways.
I have my radio.
So let's talk about assumptions. My biggest assumption, the thing that I struggle with more times than not, is assuming that I don't have romantic partners or people won't date me based upon what I look like. Like that's my biggest assumption.
Has
Like
that
when I
always been your biggest assumption?
always. I've always felt it was.
That's some deep high school shit. Junior
Yeah,
high
well,
shit.
yeah. Moving from one town to another, bullshit. But like everything that like I've been working on in therapy is the idea of what if that assumption isn't true, and
Well,
that's not been very easy for me because I feel like there's slight proof that. Well, there's no. I don't know. But that's the biggest assumption is that like when I get turned down or when I get rejected or any of that throughout my whole life, it always had to do with what I look like or my size or I never thought it had to do with like my personality or anything like that, but I always assumed that was the reason. That's like the biggest one that's followed me my whole life.
So I guess it's, it's changing an agreement with yourself.
Yes.
It's like changing, like it's turning it from an assumption to something else.
Reality.
Well, no, because you can assume that this is what people think about you.
Yes.
But what the mistake that we make when we assume things is that we are thinking for other people.
For sure.
Like we have decided that this person doesn't like me because of XYZ.
Yes.
When really we haven't heard that from them. And we might never. People might not be honest with us. People will choose what to share with us, what not to. And so we draw the conclusions based on what we know and the information we have gathered about life experience.
Yeah, I mean, and I said it, I think on a previous podcast too. Like one of the things that I kind of learned about myself is there's a superficiality. Is that a word?
Yes.
It's super fishy.
Yeah, there's
Superficiality. Super fishy.
Brenzino.
Totally different. Yes, Claire's dinner last night was super fishy.
Feast.
that there's a superficiality about me that I probably am putting on other people too. That I'm just assuming I'm not liked or I'm not desired based upon how big I am, or that I'm ugly, or that I'm sweaty, or whatever it is. I always like put that out there on other people, and most of it has to do with the surface and not underneath the surface.
So you're saying there's a vainness to it?
Yeah,
That you
yeah.
don't-
There's a
that-
there's a
that
vanity.
bothers
to it.
you?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to be. I
I don't think of you as a vain person.
Not based on how I dress. No, of course not. What? What?
No.
I walked into that one.
I did.
Couldn't help it. I'm having a discussion here, but really, what's going on at the table
Stop. Don't.
is that Claire is trying to figure out how to make a printer work, and Grady is trying to operate a portable bidet. I'm pouring my guts out here, like my life has been in service to this idea that I fucking am a monster and no one will ever love me. And Grady's like, did I put the batteries in right? Is it plus minus plus? What is the way to get this thing in
these
here?
are all dead.
No, there's no way.
Just want to see what your reaction would be.
There's no way that they're dead. I've stole fresh batteries.
Well, if you
Well,
if
it's
you
not a very
steal,
fresh
then
face.
it's karma.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Should I?
I mean, no offense, but like, I mean, here's how the karma gods would look at it. You shouldn't have stolen, and now that you've stolen, we're gonna punish you by killing all the batteries.
Let me watch this one work.
So myths about assumptions, because you guys are busy.
No, we're not.
Assumptions are always bad.
No.
Well, some assumptions can lead to misunderstanding or errors. Not all assumptions are negative. Many situations, assumptions are necessary for functioning efficiently in daily life.
Yes, that is exactly right. If okay, as a gay man, if I walk into a room this is just so general. Probably doesn't sound right. If I walk into a room of a bunch of frat bros, I might assume that I may not be safe
Okay.
in some ways. And so that's a self-protection mode. I think assumptions in
is-
that way is it's okay to assume maybe you might not be safe, but not to buy into that necessarily, but just to be cautious. Assumptions can help you to be cautious, I think. You don't have to latch on them 100%, right? But they can help you to go, this person or this someone is, I don't know if they're safe.
I think,
I don't know what I'm saying.
but no, I think you're absolutely right, and I think you're probably basing that on some data, though.
Definitely.
that you
that's
have-
just life experience. Yeah, for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so on my side, I feel like I'm making my assumptions based upon data. Okay.
I guess you got the bidet working.
Does it really sound like a bidet, people?
No,
Put that
it
up
sounds
against
like
the
a
mic.
vibrator. Is that the hive?
I think a lot of times assumptions, I think, will make.
I mean, is it vibrating?
I'm
Could you
just
stick that
sick.
right in your butthole?
I'm just assuming there.
Is there air coming out of that thing?
Let me see. Where's the on button?
On the
The
bottom.
high. Oh, that was low. This is high.
Oh, you have to.
What do you hook it up to? Where does the water go?
In
thing in
that
the tube.
thing.
Oh shit!
Yeah. You put the water in there and then you turn it on.
Be right back.
Grady's busy. He's protecting himself from frat boys.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! We should have gone over all the presents beforehand. None of these things are like the present that I got you.
So
Basically, it's the same thing. It's like my flosser.
okay, but you're not supposed to turn it down because that's not how you use a bidet.
Well, the water's not going into it any other way.
Then you have to fill it up higher.
I wonder if you can hear Grady.
I actually-
he's having a malfunction of,
I
of
actually-
water.
I have to turn it over for the water.
Great, you have to put more water in there.
I'm trying not to make it blow up in here.
Make it blow up. How else are we going to see if it works? I mean, we certainly blow up the bathroom all the time.
Yeah. Hey.
Why are you wiping it off? It's just water.
Yeah, it's just water. Oh no, he stuck it down his pants.
I actually had a dream that we were doing the podcast, but we were doing it remotely. So I was like in my room, but then I got up to go to the bathroom during the podcast, but I didn't tell you guys.
Oh, okay.
And then it was like a really long pee, and I was like, oh my God, they're gonna think that I got disconnected or something, and they're gonna end the whole podcast.
We're gonna end it because Grady and I will just sit there
Be
in
like,
silence.
Claire.
Oh, Claire.
I
there,
have
Claire?
to
You there, Claire?
make an announcement.
This is fabulous.
Oh, great. Joy.
Because you can really just get in.
Oh my God, Grady, you didn't use it.
No,
Why
but
did you use it?
he's miming using it.
Okay, I have an announcement to make.
Okay, Claire's gonna make an
I
announcement.
turned off the light because I'm having an ocular vision.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm having a little thing happening in my eye that's preventing me to see.
I wish I had my glasses that you could use my Theraspecs. They'd help you. They'd stop it immediately.
So I'm feeling a little weird.
Okay.
And at the same time, I'm trying to figure out how this printer works. But back to assumptions. So I think that what I struggle when it comes to assumptions, like what I struggle the most is in my. It's actually like sometimes in my professional life and then in my home life, like when I have conversations with people, and it's like it's usually with my mom. Actually, we both assume we're having to we make a plan about something.
Yeah.
But we've both assumed that each other has understood what is in the other person's head. And I can't give a specific example right now, but it's like, sometimes it'll have to do with like coming home for dinner, or, you know, like one time my mom said, okay, I'm just going to make something light for dinner, or I'm not going to have like a big meal. And then I'll come home and then, cause maybe I have to like run out. And she's like, oh, I made blah, blah, blah for, if you want to sit down. And I was like, I thought you didn't make a big dinner. She was like, well, I made like a dinner, but not like a big dinner. And it was
right. Like you assume that she's not making a big dinner means that she's not doing dinner.
Yeah.
And then,
so, but then it's like, I thought she meant something different than what she said. And she said something different than what she actually meant.
Yeah.
So this type of thing happens all the time in my house.
That's
and it also starts big fights.
Yeah. No, I think in my marriage that happened too. There you assume that you've been clear about your information, even though maybe you haven't said the words, and so for someone else to not be able to read your mind becomes this moment of frustration. You're like, well, why didn't you understand better? You know, and then people get defensive. And then once you get defensive, then it becomes really kind of hard to
I think
just go, oh, I misunderstood and I'm sorry, right out of the gate.
Go.
Yeah,
that resolve doesn't happen enough with me.
Yeah,
I will fight to the death. Because I'm very stubborn when it comes to like, well, I understood it this way. Because for some reason, like I want people to understand why I didn't understand something so that they'll forgive me, I think.
Okay.
But I'm not as forgiving with others, I think. That's a personal problem.
No, I mean it's really interesting to like want to be forgiven but not be able to offer forgiveness.
Yes, like I want people to understand me, whereas I will not forgive others as easily when it comes to fights, arguments. Not fights. I don't really fight with people.
Like physically, you don't fight.
No.
You don't box or
no,
anything like that.
But
I wonder. I wonder.
It does have to get solved in the workplace, though, because those people I have to coexist with on a professional plane.
Right, but maybe like you forgive on surface, but you don't forgive inside as much.
It's tough. I have to. There's a room I need to have for the forgiveness track in there, and that I usually chalk up to, but people are just people, and they're you know, when it comes to family, it's like you're related to these people, so there's a little bit more of frustration with why people aren't abiding by what I want them to. But at work, I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm going to walk away from this. Like, everybody's going to go home to their own families, their own lives. And I've got my shit. They've got their shit. And it's a little bit harder to make that boundary with the people at home.
Well, also at home, you can be almost like the worst version of yourself. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but like you're not going to. You could be shitty to your mom, and your mom's still going to have love for you.
Yeah,
and then you can work through it eventually. But like when it's sometimes safer to be our nastier selves around family.
Yeah, it's interesting because you're exactly right. Like I'm the worst version of myself at home, and then I am forgiven. And lately, I feel like I shouldn't be forgiven because of how nasty I am.
At home, there's an unconditional love that's not transactional, and at work, it is transactional. And if that transaction gets broken, you got to go ask this person about this setting constantly or whatever you're working on. And then you're like, God, I got to talk to this person again. Then we don't get along. And things don't happen.
I wonder if there's, I don't know, something in it that, I wonder why you feel like you shouldn't be forgiven lately. Like why you're feeling nastier.
I guess I just feel,
Are you at the end of your rope with your patience?
I don't really know what it is. There could be that. There's something there's been a shift in energy in the last month or so. And also I think I've definitely been going through some of my stuff, my own personal stuff, like being very busy and not really being home a lot and having like frustrations outside of my home life that I'm bringing home.
Right.
And I want to go home and I want to be peaceful. And then there's a lot of stuff that I have to also do at home.
That gets tangled up.
Right,
and I don't want to do, yeah.
You're feeling obligation.
Yeah. And
obligations at home.
Yeah. And it's what's sad is that I feel like I should want to help out at my house. Like, and then when I'm asked to do something, I get very annoyed, and then I'm mad. I get upset that I've been asked to do something, and then because I feel like it's been disrespectful of my time. Like, why doesn't this person understand that I'm busy and that I just don't want to do anything right now?
And you're assuming that they understand that without actually experiencing it, which kind of circles back to what we're talking about.
And also, and then my mother, who also is working very hard. My dad just had shoulder surgery, so she's taking care. She's doing everything, and so she's been feeling that. And because she's my mother and she's always taken care of everything, I'm just assuming that she can continue to take care of everything. But really, she needs help.
With an extra burden on her.
Yes,
burden's the wrong word, but like extra responsibilities to your dad.
But she and I had a conversation a couple weeks ago, and I said, "What do you need me to do? Like, what's helpful for me to do around the house?" And she listed a couple things, and then. I can't actually do it all and it's not a lot. I just am not home.
Yeah.
I'm not, like the last 2 nights, like the nights I typically don't have rehearsals. Like I was not home. I didn't come home after work. I had dinners. I had a show to do. Today I'm busy. Tomorrow I'm busy. Like and I have a lot of my own work to do as well. So.
Do you feel like a passive aggressiveness then thrown towards you, and then you get resentful? Or?
It's not passive aggressive. It's fully like
aggressive.
It's not, and it's not even aggressive. It's just like, Claire, when are you going to do this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. Like I have a headache. Like I can't. And then I'm stressed out because then I don't have time to do the things that I have to do. But anyway, so this comes back to, there's a huge amount of assumption there. Like my mom is assuming that I'm okay. I'm assuming that my mom can just suck it up and do the one thing that I think is easy. And she's like, like you got to take the garbages out. You got to do this. You got to do that. I'm like, it doesn't require a lot of time. Like you could just do it yourself. And then that's the whole thing. I don't actually say that, but like one time she asked me to go somewhere and I was like, well, it is right up the street from where you work. And she was like, you don't have any idea like what my life is like. And I'm like, well, I can't, it's out of my way to go all the time and I can't go. So then it's like, we just opened a can of worms and I still have fuzzies in my eyes.
You did really well though. Can I just take a break from that and say that the reason I think they call this a camera fan is because it's the shape of a camera? That's why they call it a camera fan?
I don't think that's why they call it a camera
Look, it's
fan.
like, could be a phone fan because it looks like the shape of a phone. It's like the size of a camera. It's the only real reason they would call it a camera fan.
Is there film in there?
No. Wait, it's taking pictures of me.
I bet, is it film? It could be filming you.
No, it's because it's
This
the
is
size
spy
of it.
tech. You're
Well,
being
well,
watched.
it's from
You're being
China,
watched.
so-
You did buy it from TikTok.
You're being
Yeah,
watched
yeah.
from Europe right now.
Maybe.
This
Camera fan.
printer requires you to download an app.
Oh, does it?
And I almost downloaded it, but then it made me log in. And I'm like, who
You
do
know-
you think I am? I don't do
When are you going to do that, Claire?
I'm not a
When are you going to log in? When are you going to do that, Claire?
I'm never going to do it.
When are you going to do it? Can you have time to do it today? Can you log in?
No, no.
I have an Android. Can you log in?
So let's go to the second one. Assumptions are always conscious.
No.
No.
I think there are very often your subconscious kicks in with assumptions to protect you.
Just
Once
intuition is.
Yeah.
Ooh, to protect you. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Assumptions are always based on stereotypes. No, come
No.
on.
Stereotypes?
But
That's
also,
what
but to
it
come
says.
back with a quick.
These are the myths. These are the
These are
myths.
These are the myths.
Assumptions are always fixed.
Absolutes.
Assumptions are not static and unchangeable.
Mm.
We can revisit, revise, and discard. Well, you're trying to change. I'm trying to change my assumptions about myself.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
Not
no, they can
successful,
definitely be.
but-
They can sorry.
They can definitely change. I think the ones that don't change are involved with trauma. And that takes a lot of work to undo those. Where you come into, again, self-protection, you come into a situation, you assume, often I think people assume the worst so that if just the mid-level happens, then it's good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming this fan is called a camera fan because of the size of the fan. Assumptions are always detrimental to critical thinking.
No.
No.
They can be, but
Oh.
they're not always.
I think of critical thinking. I think of those stupid tests we had to take in high school, or standardized tests, and one of the sections was critical thinking. You remember that?
I do.
And I was always like, oh, I'm not good at this one. I'm not good at the critical thinking. And then
But you're not thinking about just like critical thinking in life.
no, and I'm fine at life. Well, I'm not actually sure.
Fine. listen to you, braggart. I'm fine at life. Well, Grady and I are struggling through
Yes,
life.
we
all right?
are. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Well, I live at home, so I don't actually have to do a lot. Clearly.
Clearly, yeah.
I don't.
You just got for fancy dinners and fancy feasts.
Yeah, no, look, assumptions are
Assumptions can be very helpful if they're used properly.
yes. And it makes me think of science in general. It's like really important to have some sort of assumption. But I guess you're even making that assumption based upon previous data.
Yeah,
you know?
you
And
are.
then you're putting solutions together or hypotheses together to try to prove
Assumptions
an
are part of an
and stuff like
equation.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
But I
it,
just
it has to
like
be known
everyday
data
personal,
to have assumptions.
yeah, personal assumptions.
Right?
Judging a book by its cover, meeting people and assuming that
I'm from the South and I'm racist.
Yes. Well, I mean,
Don't.
what
That's
Data.
not. No.
Data.
No.
data?
Data from Star Trek?
No, that's data. No, that's data from the Goonies. Data from Star Trek. No, I constantly assume that people don't want to talk to me, in a social setting, or that I assume that nobody will be interested in what I have to say. The introvert inside me is fed by my assumptions, I think, often.
If you assume and then your assumption is not founded, are you then relieved and you let go of the assumption, or do you still then hold on to it?
I think I hold on to it.
Because
know?
what's the so
like if I assume the opposite, right? If I go into the what if I assume the
so you
opposite,
go to the party,
everybody's interested in talking to me.
right?
I have something to say. I can take up space. Those assumptions could be very, very powerful for me as I grow as
They
a
can
human
also
being.
be deflating if it doesn't go that way.
Which
right?
it feels like it most of my life it has not gone that way. And so,
But if you change the assumption, and you,
at least I'll feel better about going into a situation.
well, and I guess this is like what I do, and this is my survival tactic. Is like, I assume that people want to see me. I assume that like I've been invited to something, and I'm like, okay, well, they want me to be there, so I'm going to show them that they were right. And they, I'm like, I'm going to be Claire. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to be the person that they like. And then I just, and then if that assumption is then broken, like proven wrong, someone's like, oh, I didn't really, maybe I'll hear back from like, oh, Claire was being really weird that night, or like she did, like she said
Claire
something.
dressed up like a demon and hid in the, under the table for half the party.
That wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about. So then that would be. See, I actually try to have a positive assumptions. I have plenty of negative assumptions in life, but I have actually, like, part of what I've tried to do in terms of like my life journey over the last couple of years has been working up my own self-esteem. And I do that at my job. Like I've taken some classes, like educating myself on the content of my work so that when I go into a presentation, I know what I'm talking about. And but I also, there is some assumption there that people will understand what I'm saying. And that is completely, that's a total like wild card. Like maybe they don't understand what I'm saying and they're just sitting there and nodding.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, like yesterday I met with 2 clients for something, and then I texted them like right after they left and I never heard back from them. So maybe like maybe I assumed it went one way and they assumed it went a different way.
Yeah.
Happens a lot in my line of work.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, sales in general.
Like we think we have a good rapport with somebody and then they'll go like buy it somewhere else, which means that they've gotten a lot of free information from me.
How does that? And how do you can't prevent that from happening because you're trying to make that sale.
And I guess the only way I look at it is that like I've kept my side of the street clean. I've done the best thing for myself and for my company. And because I've tried to sell our business, I've tried to sell our product. I've given a good reputation. I mean, some people do that. They do appreciate it. They go buy the big thing somewhere else, and then they come back to me for smaller stuff.
As a theater director, what happens with assumptions when you're working with actors on stage and you're giving them direction, moving on to the next thing? You have to assume that they've taken in what you've said and it's going to be implemented, and then you run it next, you're going to see the adjustments or the changes. Or are you more cautious with that, or do you not let that even come in and block your discovery? Sorry, wow, I'm on this morning. Maybe not. That bidet really got me going.
Yeah, obviously. No, look, I don't know that assumption outside of like, we finish a rehearsal, I think you got it. Next time we revisit it, I expect you to know it. I don't think I have assumption outside of that because I'm pretty good about being open to discovery.
Or knowing, like, I'm not sure if they did get it, but we've got to move on.
Yeah, like I'll just have that in the back of my mind, and I'll just know that we
otherwise
need to revisit
it would
that.
gnaw at you.
But remember, there was a curious rehearsal, right, where you weren't available.
Right.
It was like the 28th. I remember the date, I think, because it was so crazy. The 28th, you weren't available, so I'm like, oh, let's do.
That was the only rehearsal I wasn't available for.
Right. Let's do all of the engine stuff.
The train station.
Yeah.
Everything.
All the transitions of. No, it was all Act 1 stuff.
Oh, the transitions.
We'll go from one beat to the next beat to the next beat.
Oh God,
and
that's
I'll just
brutal.
Do everything the engine does, and then Grady will come in tomorrow, and we'll be fine. And then he came in tomorrow, and it couldn't have been more of a disaster. And my assumption that like, oh, we had this great rehearsal where we're going to be so ready to go tomorrow, just fell on its face. And I know why it fell on its face, because I switched one thing on a few people that couldn't take
and
it
just right.
blew up. It just blew up.
Like,
but in general, I would say just to like piggyback on what Claire was saying before, at work, I don't have those all my assumptions are positive. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I have faith in the process. I have a confidence in myself that I have nowhere else. People ask me to talk about what I know, and I can talk about it very, very clearly, and have a real discussion about stuff. And I feel like a bit of an expert, hopefully without being arrogant. Maybe sometimes I am arrogant because I've learned to trust my theories about things. So work-wise, I don't have any of those negative assumptions, and I can go in very positive. Socially, it's the exact opposite. Socially, all of those things are taken away from me, and so people say, I want you to come to the party, and I go to the party, and I feel so party gathering, whatever it is at this age. I feel so out of place. I feel so uncomfortable. I feel so inside myself and full of anxiety that I have to leave. I mean, more often than not, I have to leave. And they say they want me there, but I don't know how to bring this person that the reason why they want me there. I can't figure out how that person exists in a social.
And that's fine.
And this is where my clutch, where I just have zero chill. I can't figure that out.
But that's fine. Like I think too, like that just could be you. I mean, I also find some like social situations can be tricky, and like that it takes a lot of effort to like make yourself available to like for small talk for people. Like you turn around and you see someone you don't recognize and you're like, hi, I'm Claire, how do you know so and so, like, or you know, what do you do for work, and
or, where's the bathroom, gotta go.
Yeah, well, see,
that's me.
I'm like, oh, what did you bring to this party?
Claire comes in and knows exactly where the bathroom is.
Yeah,
I do actually. I have a really good. I mean, my biggest. I get excited if I don't know where the bathroom is.
Yeah, Judy, I'll be there at 6. So when I walk in left, to the first left, and what that's
Grady's doing a scene about Claire coming to a party.
Okay.
Actually calling the host
so
for a party before
and
finding out where the
paper. Yeah.
I have a portable bidet.
And my portable bidet. Thank you. Oh, she hung up.
Oh. Well, but yes, and I do think that there are times that I do not have the bandwidth for a social situation, and I don't want to be there.
I can't relate to that. Go ahead.
I
understand
I'm laughing
that.
because Grady is like, I think that makes complete sense. But so I think that it's perfectly acceptable if you are not. People want you to come to a birthday party, right? You're one of their favorite people, one of their closest friends. Of course, they want all their favorite people in the same place at the same time, but I've done that before too. Like when I've thrown a couple birthday parties for myself, and every time I do it, I say I'm never going to do it again because I have friends from so many different circles.
You said shit's gone
real
wrong.
No need to this year.
You said shit was popping off
Big
last time you did it.
bash for Brandon.
Oh my God.
Surprise.
No.
Surprise.
I told you I'm going to throw up.
No, it's not.
I
Claire,
can't.
that's not.
I'm going to throw up.
I can't have people do anything for
Claire's
me.
having an ocular moment because of this birthday thing.
Probably.
Is it still going on?
It's better, but I think I'm on.
Why don't you put a cool rag on your forehead?
Do you have a cool rag, Matt?
Don't.
I'll
I may
make
have
you
an ice pack.
paper
towel one, yeah.
An ice pack?
I think I'm fine. I'm just going to take some Excedrin and then.
Why don't you get a little towel in the ice pack and just cool your head down? I get these a lot. Cool your head down. I wear. You know, y'all saw me the other day wearing my
your headband.
My thing for my.
No, I think the thing
Your
is
helmet?
gone. I'm just going to get a migraine later, but that's fine.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's just.
I'm buying you a headache.
I have one.
Do you use it?
But I don't have time to deal with this today because I have like something I need to go. Yeah, it's fine. I'm going to take Excedrin. I'll feel better.
It's all right. We're just doing a very cozy episode.
I have the Excedrin. Do you need it
the
now?
last podcast.
The lights are out.
Do you want the Excedrin now? I have it.
I have some. Yeah. I'll
Okay.
just take it.
Okay.
But thank
Okay.
you.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Don't
fuck
worry
you.
about
You,
it.
Grady.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you want me here.
Nope.
Clearly you don't.
Nope. Grady can't help, so he feels useless.
Oh, but he's so helpful.
It's true though.
I know it is.
I hate it when I can't help.
I know,
He's
you
gonna
like-
text me a lot later and ask me how I'm doing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's gonna be great. I love
Yeah.
when
Oh, yeah.
Grady
You're,
texts
not
me.
you're not the mystery you think you are.
I love when Grady
I don't think
texts
I'm a
me.
mystery.
Oh, you do. You think you are?
No,
all
I don't.
Fog and mirror. Fog and mirrors? No. Smoke
and mirrors. Who the fuck you're talking about?
I gave you mist. The fog was. It's more of a
I like
mystery.
mist better.
Yeah,
Mist
smoke-
sounds more 80s.
Smoke we could just make out of anything we want.
Let the mystery be.
What I was gonna say is I can't remember.
Oh, we
I
were
can't
talking
remember.
about bathrooms and parties and social situations. Oh, yes.
Situations. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are times that it's so draining.
Also, too, like I'd like my friend. You know,
Your
I'd like to
friend?
have my friend at the party, and so like
The one buddy that you can stick with
and then
howl with.
they're just too social, and they go on and cheat on me and
Yes,
talk with other friends,
do
and then
that.
leave me there.
I do that.
Thanks
I'm,
a lot,
I'm
Claire.
that person to you, and I'm sorry.
I'm so not that person.
I feel like I let you go at parties pretty easily.
Oh,
though.
you definitely let me go. Well,
You
you
know?
have no choice. I have to leave.
No, but like it doesn't insult me. No,
Oh,
not
okay.
even leave, but like go seek other people.
It's very
Well,
rare that will move
like
around a party.
I don't
No.
strong arm Claire like you got to stay by me.
Well, I feel
I
like
find a seat or an area, and I generally 99.99999% of the time will stay right there
Well,
for the entire time.
and
until
I will.
leave.
If Grady is doing that at a party, I'm gonna go sit with Grady.
I-
But then I'm gonna get up and go talk to someone
Which is
else.
fine.
And then I'm gonna come back. And
I
but
I like to be like a port of interest. I think, I hope, maybe, or just a port. Just a stop off.
The last gathering we were all at together. At one point, I just went in the other room and just sat in a chair by myself.
Wasn't that nice?
No,
Oh,
no,
I was like, that sounds nice.
God,
it wasn't.
you're-
It wasn't nice.
sat in
And
the
then,
chair. Was
and
it
then
nice?
somebody came up and said, "Oh, you should be talking to this person." And I was like, "Nobody wants to talk to that person." And so it became even more awkward. And then yeah,
Well, also,
Nobody wants to talk to that
there
person.
aren't many people that like
she
at,
made costumes, so no one wants to talk to her.
in
Oh,
our
oh,
group
yeah.
of friends. Like I find
got
that
stuck with her.
my conversations with these people are typically. They're not social conversations. It's like, oh, how are you? Well, I had a fucking shitty year. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Why? Because XYZ and ABC. And then that's the kind of conversation you have one-on-one with somebody where if someone comes up to you and it's like, hey, did you try the blah, blah, blah dip? I'll be like, fuck off. We're having a private conversation. But at the same time, I could reach out to that person and have this deep conversation on the phone, but
Yes.
I don't because I just happen to see you at a party and I
People are nervous oftentimes and don't read visual social cues, but oftentimes I think people think you can have a private conversation at a party, and you really have to be careful how quickly you dive into it because you're not going to be able to stay there for that long. Otherwise, you're perceived as not wanting to be a part of anything, and you're over by yourself.
Grady doesn't like his picture taken.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it's a fan, so he doesn't have to worry.
Who loves their picture taken? Like,
I
"Ooh,
do.
Please be.
That's because you look good in pictures.
No, I don't. I don't.
No.
I just hope one
Look
day
at my
it makes the
every
movies.
Matt has-
no. I
you love your
swear to
photo
God,
taken.
Every
If the audience could see the
Every
amount of
photo
tasteful
taken
nude
for
oils
Puffs.
there are of Matt in this house.
Every picture taken for Puffs used in marketing didn't have me in it. Like
What?
if you look at
That's
everything,
not. No, you are.
barely, like 4% of the pictures that were shown in marketing had me in it.
Wait. But
Would you say that outside? Would you say that I probably had the most stage time out
Wait.
of anybody? Like it's hard to find a picture.
Matt, but we had
The-
pictures taken of us, and people took those pictures and used it for their own marketing. So if
That's not what I'm talking about.
because I only used the marketing that people tagged me in, and that's how I marketed.
Right.
I didn't actually
No.
upload any. of
But
my
the
own
the
pictures.
theater in general, and when you look at all the pictures, everybody really looked good, except for me, and I just didn't look good.
I didn't
and
look
so
good.
it didn't make a lot of sense whether
You
my part was
assumed
big or
that.
not. Maybe, but like the data said something totally different. Anyways, what I really wanted to say was, before I took a picture of Grady with my fan. I think maybe, and I'm assuming that maybe people think that I can handle myself really well at parties because when they're dealing with me in other areas, I'm pretty vocal.
You're
and
connected. You're
involved,
aware. You're
and,
involved. Yes, you're.
and
You're open.
sometimes quick-witted and
Sometimes quick-witted.
and not loud, but like vocal. So I think maybe people don't think in a social situation that I need a little support.
Yeah,
or
no,
rescuing.
and but I wouldn't know that about you unless I got to know you more, like I have been.
Assumptions for me
that
have
make any
always
sense?
been
Yes.
on that end as well
Yeah.
in my life. People assume that because I can memorize or as a kid, I could memorize page after page after page or recite entire movies.
Stop bragging.
That it wasn't. It's not a brag. It's just that's not bragging. What I mean,
I can memorize so much.
what I'm saying is because I could do that, people would say, "Well, I don't understand why you have special needs or why you can't do math." No, that's okay. We're good.
Oh, you don't want it?
We're all vampires.
This morning we
But I've always been often on the other side of assumptions where people assume
About you.
I'm capable of doing way more than I can do because what I can do and do well, I push hard on.
Well, that's
and I give it everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you can't have special needs. You can't have problems with this. It's just
you do this.
It's just
you do
geometry.
A, B, and C, so
you do
should be
this
able to.
show. You can do this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I absolutely 100% cannot. And if I try to and push myself to, I'm going to be in some kind of probably bad physical situation.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that happens too with to parallel that with performers. They see, oh, you can get on stage and do A, B, and C. I don't understand why you're shy about being at a party with people and stuff like that. Yours runs a little bit deeper because exactly we didn't talk about being on the spectrum. It is different, but it is the same as well, but it's just magnified. Well, it's also like I think it took a little time for me to accept you being on the spectrum in the sense of like I didn't ever experience any of the things that you struggle with for many. No, I just don't hug you.
No, I mean I just I've kept everything so
well. There's been a lot of masking and stuff
I
like that.
Couldn't anymore. I don't want to.
No, and you shouldn't. And I guess accept is not really the right
no,
word.
But you
I just didn't experience.
In a way, I
so.
had to reintroduce myself to you as not a new person, but just as sometimes you just have to reintroduce yourself to people, and I think then assumptions will then go away, or people will take those assumptions away when you go, this was really hard for me actually, this party.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, oh, well, Matt doesn't sometimes love, like, I don't know if not that we don't want him to come, but there's like 50 people here, and I don't think he's going to have a good time.
I don't know
what I'm trying to say.
No. I also think too, though, it's like I have and correct me if I overstep, but I think I have a sober mentality, which is I don't enjoy
being around everybody doing the thing.
Yeah, or at least certain people for sure.
Oh,
other people
definitely.
It doesn't.
No, I hear.
I don't mind
100%. But you know, it's that one person. Like, God, you had one, you got two. Okay, I can't talk to you anymore because you just
like if that's the focus of the party. If a party or get together is just about drinking or smoking or something,
it's
like
not for you.
It's not because I don't know.
It's interesting because like I have that mentality now, but it's not the same as yours probably because I used
that's interesting, right? You've got a whole different story.
I used to like that's what I would do at parties and I loved it and like that was my buzz. Like I would feed off it. And now if I'm going to go to a social setting, I want to make sure that there are people there I can talk to and have conversation with so that I feel like I've used the best parts of myself that night rather than sitting around and just like resenting the fact that everybody's drinking or everybody's getting high and I can't be a part of it. So like there are actually people I have decided not to spend time with in my life because of that. Like last night.
If they get to that or if they're going into that zone or get to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
like last night, the dinner I was at, like it was food. There were minimal cocktails, and I was the first one to leave, and it was like going on 10 o'clock, and everybody was sitting around talking. There were no drinks. There was like everybody was just talking and laughing about whatever stories they were telling, and everyone was like drinking water, and it was like I found that to be really remarkable, and I really enjoyed it because there was interesting stuff to listen to. You could contribute to it too. And I only left because I was tired, not because I was uncomfortable.
Right. Or that it was uninteresting.
Right.
What people were talking about. It was actually very interesting. Being around adults and having adult conversations.
Yeah, and that was actually a big thing for me when I stopped drinking, was that I noticed that people were having mature conversations at parties, or when people would leave, it was because they were tired or they had something to do. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize you leave the party because, for me, it's like I have to leave the party because if I stay, I'm going to keep drinking and I have to drive home.
Yeah. Or you stay and you're just trying to squeeze every ounce of boozy time. Out
or
of
like
it.
when you're drinking and you don't even pay attention to that stuff, and then all of a sudden you're like sleeping on the couch.
Yeah. And
That sounds like a nightmare.
I do think for myself though, sometimes I feel like I can't talk about much outside of what my area of expertise is. So I don't feel very worldly.
Well, but
That's your special interest, and that's a cool thing that you
I
like
know,
to
but,
talk
like,
about.
is it, ugh.
What do you mean, ugh?
I mean, does everyone talk about?
I want to talk about it with
the
you.
human condition.
I do.
I want to talk about it all the time.
my
You-
God.
That's
and you
why
tell
I
me to-
started a podcast.
You
with
tell
the
me to
two of
fuck
you.
off.
I
Well, no,
love talking
because
about
you
that
always,
stuff.
You always put Yerma into it.
I
Why
keep thinking
won't you
Yerma's
just
a
see it?
place.
Why won't you just look at it? It's just
Fucking
not.
mother-
It's 90 minutes. Fuck off, Mum. Seriously. It's like things have changed, obviously, so we're going to have to make some changes. We can't all be first wave feminists.
Oh my God, we're gonna get sued by the Yerma people.
They don't give a shit.
Wait, is this something I should watch, or only
Yes.
Matt should watch?
No,
Oh.
no. You should watch.
Everybody, the world. It would be standardized watching if Grady ruled the educational
I
system.
want to make a new school system.
It would be.
Let's do it.
I would be very careful.
No, what?
It's a very intense piece. It's very visceral. I've never seen anything.
We don't. It could be
that
an
visceral.
elective.
You need to.
Visceral feelings.
You could teach it,
101.
I could not teach this at all.
Listen, people.
or maybe you don't teach it. It's just you go
not feeling enough.
the classes that you just watch it, and then you leave.
Watch Yerma.
When you
You'll start
do
to feel
see it,
again.
you see her, the sister say "fuck off, Mom." You'll never be able to not hear me.
No, because you say it to me all the time now.
I just want to make a new school system where like there are kind of no rules, and
It's called Montessori.
parents aren't allowed to say anything.
That sounds. Hey,
we
you got a
may,
winner
we,
right
may
here.
need, we may need a few rules.
Okay.
You know,
yeah,
you,
like
you,
no,
you can't
no,
strangle children.
Yeah, like no sexual harassment, like no abuse,
Yes.
all that stuff.
like Abbott Elementary.
I mean, I got to learn about this before I pull the trigger. But it's like, show a movie and then
It'll be called the New School NU.
Well, movies and books are great ways into empathy. You know, empathy should be at the core of it.
Mm-hmm.
Should be like a little bit of math, a little bit of English, a little bit
No.
of science, and empathy.
yeah, and taxes.
And taxes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Well, and civics. Like, understand how
Can
your
you
government
show
works.
national theater shows to your kids at school?
I can. I mean, I'm not supposed to show swearing and stuff like that, but I could show
But like
them to my eighth
hexers,
graders.
things like that, just to see the camera work and stuff like that.
I
Like,
could.
just to throwing it
But,
out there.
but because I'm not teaching specifically theater anymore and I'm teaching video,
That's what I mean. But it's
I try
the
to show
video
them
work.
more video stuff. Well, no, it's videoing a live production, so that's a little different.
It is, but I think it's interesting how they've found a way to crack that code to make it like
Yeah.
watchable, even though it's
Yes,
still
well,
not the front
it's
POV.
it's good storytelling, but I'm
Pove.
really trying to get them to understand how you frame up a shot because they really just try to capture stuff. They don't get reverse angles
yeah.
and stuff like
Okay,
that.
well,
They're
never
not-
mind. That's not the.
They're really
They're not there yet.
No.
Sorry, that's like
No.
that's advanced.
So we'll see. Anything else we want to say about assumptions? We didn't get into any cliches, but like, do we need to?
No.
We do go over
There's
all the myths.
so much. Like when I imagined us talking about this, I imagined us going into something.
You assumed.
so much. I assumed that I wasn't going to have an ocular migraine,
Oh,
That's for sure.
Sorry.
Yeah.
but it's fine. But I think it affected my ability to go a little deeper today. I would have liked to go a little deeper, but I also would have liked to remember what was so driving
Of our
about that
assumption.
conversation that it was like, let's fucking nail it. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
I think it had to have had. I think it had to do with birthdays.
You're around your birthday.
You know, and things that we expectations that
is
I may
it birthday
have had
casket?
and assuming.
Birthday casket thing maybe.
Are you saying casket or cast gift?
Cast gift?
Oh.
Bidet. Cast gift.
No, I mean we definitely got distracted by the presents that were not presents that were just here that we could play with earlier. But I'll go through the texts, our texts, and
Well,
you
that's
know.
a long. There's a lot of text, but also
Don't
I
just
actually
reread it.
I
Don't do
remember
that. It'll
that
take a
like
year.
for the last for that time, that particular time, that whole month, I was very emotionally charged,
Give me a Ritz.
and then 10 days later, I cooled off 100%.
Was this
February? No.
There was 2 weeks before Puffs,
Yeah.
and then the whole run of Puffs.
Yeah.
And then the week after Puffs, I think I calmed down. There was one day I had to stay home from
Sister, you ain't
work.
just whistling
Yeah, yeah,
Dixie.
because I had to sleep
You
all
ain't
day.
just whistling
I
Dixie.
I
I hear you.
I reset,
yeah.
and now I don't feel like I felt before.
For sure.
So but that time I was super emotionally charged about everything.
Yeah.
I felt like
We talked about this a couple of times.
what is it
We were
my body took an antibiotic and it killed all the
everything
protectants
and the good, the good stuff and the bad stuff.
Yeah, it killed everything, and my body was just
I felt
completely
dead. I know.
susceptible to.
I did not. I did
Emotional and physical.
I did not assume. I assumed it would be the bounce back from this show would be a lot quicker than it has been. That's my assumption.
I feel pretty bouncy. I don't know why, but I feel like I
You
was able
should.
to recover. For me,
I think that you. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just feel like you handle things in the moment as they happen. Whereas sometimes I don't know how to process them, so I process them afterwards, where you're processing constantly. So by the time it's over with, you're like, yeah, well, this sucked or that sucked, but I'm all right, and I can move on now. I think that of you.
Oh, thank
and
you.
I think that's a really cool thing. I envy that.
It's funny, Matt.
Do you know what I'm? Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
I never thought about that, so it's
Matt's,
not like
Matt's
I don't
constantly
see it.
dealing with
but
it as it's happening.
Matt to me is like a
the golden arches.
No, I want to say like a beacon, but stronger. Like not light. Like your
spirit.
No, something physical. Like if I have I feel like I can lean on Matt. Like I feel like if
you look out, you can always find him. You know where he is, right?
He's a monolith.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
I was going to say lighthouse, but
yeah, that's good too. But that's a metaphor for so many other
lighthouse
things.
in the dark.
Yeah.
Like
I don't wanna steal that
not
one.
a monolith. Monoliths are creepy. I'm sorry.
Well,
No,
I'm feeling that way.
maybe
sometimes,
the
I
like
assume-
the lamp
I assume
post-
that's-
the Jefferson Memorial, right?
the lamppost in Narnia.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd rather be the wardrobe, but whatever.
No. The thing.
Jesus Christ! Fine, you can be the bureau and Beauty and the Beast. Whatever.
Thank you.
No, the thing that
Mrs. Potts.
when I have a problem, sometimes I'll I feel like I can go to Matt, and Matt will have either the answer or maybe he won't have the answer, but he'll be able to share it with me, whatever it is. Maybe I'm like, I'm stressed about blah blah blah, and he'll take some
Matt's
of it.
very good at jumping out of himself very quickly and handling what's happening with somebody else and not having. He's very good at that.
Yes.
Very good at that.
Yes.
Jumping out of himself and then just focusing on you and helping you or one through something.
Which is
or
interesting
helping
because
one
then
understand
when
something.
if Matt has a problem, if Matt's struggling with something,
Nope.
then I feel like
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I going to
I know. Tell me about it.
I can't be strong.
Hey, how are you? All right? Nope. What can I do? Don't know. Can I help you? Nope. I want to.
Just gonna
let
suffer.
me know.
I'm just gonna suffer. No, I do think I'm pretty good at absorbing things for people, like taking it on.
You're good at getting somebody back on the rails and going, listen, look.
Yeah, I also like, dealing with my own whatever tragedies and stuff like that. I feel like there's part of me that's very, very strong, and so I can take on other people's. I can transfer some of their heat based upon whatever they're struggling with at times.
You're a conductor.
Yeah, I feel like I can conduct
A conduit.
pretty well at times, and I also
Both.
it gives me joy to be able to provide that for my friends. Like I always want to be the friend that I always want to represent being the friend that I always wanted from my friends when I was dealing with my dad's death and stuff like that.
Well,
So
you're quite.
I think that
quite good
there's
at
part
that.
of that I like to do, but also because I care so much about the two of you that it's important to me that that I can be there for you in any way that I can. I think with our last show, I just got to a place where I had empathy for everybody for the most part that I felt was struggling. I had my frustrations like everybody else, and I felt like for me, Tim's always been a great like outlet for me to be.
Tim.
But I also feel like I was pretty vocal about the things that I was frustrated with.
Again, you handle things as they happen. You didn't let them bottle.
Yeah. And
I didn't know how to express anything that was going on with me.
And I also looked at the whole thing as like, here's an opportunity that I just get to hang out with my friends. Like my friends are, like I really didn't have anybody come see the show. Like no one outside came and saw the show for me because all my close friends were in the show. Oh. You know? Like anybody on the outside in the fringe or whatever, I don't think there was anybody really
Your mom
in
came.
my mom and the kids. But I don't think there's anybody outside in our circle of people that came to see me. And that was all right because the people that I cared most about were in the show. And some that I didn't care that much about. But still, they were at the show. And so that was enough to kind of guide me through what could be very, very difficult. Was like, it's like our Sunday mornings. It's an appointment for us, whether this thing goes out to the world or not. It is an appointment that we're all feeling connected to, desire to, obligated, whatever word you want to use, to come together so that we can hang out and talk. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's a beautiful thing. Would it be nice if this was our only job and that they would pay us and we could, you know, buy houses and things like that? That'd be great.
A real bidet.
But like in the end,
A real bidet.
a real
bidet.
True.
From Godspell.
And hire someone to install it.
It's one of the best songs in
Yes.
Godspell where he goes to the bathroom and they
Someone
wipe him day by day.
Day by day.
Day by day.
Day by day.
It's my favorite number from
Day by
Godspell.
day. Day by day. Oh dear Lord, please wash this away. Is that?
Yes. That's those
Wash
are the
this
lyrics.
away.
Unbelievable, you farters. All right, so
What did you
that's
call
pretty
me?
much it. I called you both farters
Why?
because someone leaned over and lifted a cheek just
Not
now.
now. Did you do that, Grady?
No.
Oh, he totally did it. I farted before. It was bad, but I didn't say anything. No, but I knew it wasn't leaving my vicinity unless somebody else smelled it.
You have like a force field, right?
No.
It doesn't leave your
Sometimes.
vicinity.
She has a faux fur, like fucking 101 Dalmatians coat on here.
Maybe
the jacket
That's true, it
absorbs
just
it.
absorbs
the,
it.
The jacket.
it's a special jacket. I don't know. Maybe Claire farts so much that I just assume that that's the smell of Claire.
No,
I've just-
I was
No,
about to
that
say.
is
I
an
was just about to
incorrect-
say the same
incorrect
thing.
I'm just
assumption.
like-
But I was going to say.
No, but I
it in
don't.
a-
I don't know it as a farty thing. I just know it.
I was
that's
just about to say the same
that's-
thing, but not as in a nice.
You were gonna say it as
conductive
nicely?
way.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to use the word like pussy or something like that. You know, like.
Is that POO?
Yeah,
SA?
I don't want to say the word
like my perfume is called Poopsie.
pussy.
Poopsie.
He's combining some words.
Yeah.
So it's a close.
Poopsie.
All right. I don't know.
Fart say.
I don't know what we learned today. Yeah. I hope you guys stayed with us through the unwrapping packages part of the podcast.
And I think you can assume that.
Well said. Well said.
And I just had a stroke
Oh, Grady.
And we're back to this.
You keep doing that.
because I have. That's not funny. That's
I
not
don't.
funny.
I don't
It's
know
not funny.
the levels. I've been playing with the levels all day today, so hopefully,
I assume they'll be
it'll
okay.
I hope they'll be all right. We'll see. Sometimes we get loud. Anyways, I think we should probably end now because I think we're out of gas. We've been out of gas for a bit, so I love you both.
Love you.
I can't wait to celebrate your birthdays.
Oh my God.
Oh my
I'm
God, they're
so
so
planned
far
out.
away.
So planned
It's
out.
Doesn't
like in
anybody stay
it's
in one place
3
anymore?
years.
No, wait, that's weird how your birthday works.
Yeah,
3
yeah.
years?
just- That's
3
why I
years
told
away.
you not to do anything
Put
for
it
it.
in my calendar. I got such good ideas. I'm so proud of
Okay.
myself already. You know when I started thinking about it? Your birthday?
I do.
When?
After your birthday?
I mean, basically,
The 27th, yeah.
Well, I've already started planning your birthday next year.
I know. I already got a text. That's what I was saying. I already got a text about it. She's already planning. And I said to myself, these people are nuts.
No.
Well, I was
You're
actually
caring.
upset that I didn't think of it for this year's birthday.
Well, I was going to say,
But
I can't say. I'll privately BM you.
BM me.
Unbelievable.
Okay, let's go.
I know. I'll just
I have to
say.
text my mom. We're having an issue with communication.
Oh no, you got to be able to focus on that one.
It's so funny. It's just funny because we talked about this thing the other day, and now we're talking about it again. But she forgot a piece of information.
And you assume that she remembered.
Yeah, but now I know for a fact that she didn't. So, but
But
it's fine.
before we go,
Yes.
again, we'll celebrate your birthday when it's your birthday, but Grady's birthday will last all year long. That way, it's never one
Are
thing.
all these gifts for him? Did you buy all these for him? And this is just a
Are you
secret.
testing me out to see, like, does he want a little printer? Does he want, like, mini little bidets?
Do you
Does he
want
like
a camera fan?
Does he want a friend named Hans?
No, the camera fan that was a gift for me.
You're gonna buy me a friend named
from
Hans.
Sally Rose. No,
This is Hans.
But you could be
till-
lying.
Wait till you see this gift. Wait till you see this gift. You are going to not believe that it is something. It's as good or maybe better than the slippers. Yep. And I have ideas for Claire, and then there's this big thing
Are you going to get me like a cottage or something? Because that would really be helpful.
in Ireland.
Oh my God. This is...
Claire, if I could afford you a cottage in Ireland, I'd do it in a second.
No, I just need...
afford to the college
All right.
in Ireland.
I just need I need an apartment with like lots of closets.
That's true. That's true.
For
You do.
what?
I have so much stuff.
Well,
Paper.
just stack it.
Clothing.
They're so expensive, though. Where do you want to live? Would you go? All right, we'll talk about this later. Thank you for listening to the Last Will Podcast. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Cheers, us.
I just...
She just farted. That's what she said. She said she just farted, and I pushed stop on the thing, and you couldn't hear her say it, but she said, I just farted. Go back and listen. Just go back and listen to the very end before the music starts, and then you can hear her say it. That's exactly what she said, and we're not letting her get away with it. Not that she cares. She's a farter. We're all farters. So that's what you can assume about us. So what did we learn? Well, we learned a lot of different things. I don't know that we uncovered assumption as much as we touched on it a little bit. Assumption is this huge thing that kind of can get in the way of so many different things. You can't think for somebody else. I mean, in the end, that's what assumption is. You cannot think for someone else. You can only think for yourself and then ask questions so that you can understand what other people are actually thinking, because you can't think for somebody else. And you can spiral into that way too long without getting any of the information that you need. So as far as assumption goes, that's really what we need to do. We need to just ask questions and not assume we can read people's minds, because we cannot. Thank you for listening to the Last Will Podcast. If you like what you heard, please rate, review, and subscribe. That can be very, very helpful to us. And if you even like, you can recommend the show to a friend, but only if you like it. If you don't like it, then you don't have to listen, and you can listen to plenty other podcasts, because there's a lot of podcasts out there that you can enjoy. We can be reached at the Last Will Podcast on Instagram. Drop us a note if you want to. Slide into our DMs. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Until next week, onward, forward,